So today we're just doing like general pregnancy questions that you guys might have. Okay, will you announce the name before or after the baby is born? Will you find out the sex or do you want a surprise? Will you vlog the birth? Are you going to have a natural birth? My nipples are on fire 24/7. I'm not even joking. I'm like, what's going on down there? Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel. Today
we're not watching the football on Sunday. We're filming a pregnancy Q&A.
What else would James want to do on a Sunday?
This is exactly what I'm in for. Our fault for not filming it on Friday, which is when we were meant to film it. No, I'm messing up. I'm actually really looking forward to this video. Yes,
we are looking forward to this video. So we've had so many questions about the pregnancy so far, and we've been splitting them up into all different things. So I know we did the first trimester, where we talked about all the first trimester, and then we're also doing a trying to conceive video. So I made sure when I put on my story, we won't be answering any questions about trying to conceive because there were so many questions about, even when I said not to ask questions about trying to conceive, there were still loads, because I think that's something that people are really interested in. So we always knew we were going to do a separate video for that because it's just a whole new topic, and I think it just deserves its own video. So today we're just doing like general pregnancy questions that you guys might have. Our baby, for anyone who's...
Our baby, I know it.
Our baby. For anyone new to our channel,
my baby. It's my baby carrying a baby.
Oh, stop it. Now that my baby just sounds weird. Our baby is due on the 3rd of April. I keep guys thinking about that because it changes from 3rd to the 4th now and then. But it's the 3rd of April at the moment. Still a long way away.
Long way. So what are you now, 15 weeks?
Second trimester, about 15 weeks, yeah.
So if you guys, trying to work it out in your head, you don't need to. About 15 weeks.
Just got a little bump. Still a little bump. Yeah. I'm really excited for the big bump.
We thought it'd be fun to do a pregnancy Q&A. We did, like I said, the 12-week update, but sometimes you guys ask questions that we would never think of actually talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's what we're doing today.
Okay, let's see what
So I've screenshotted quite a few already, because I just thought, it'd be quicker. So first one is, were you scared to be pregnant? Definitely not. Like, I was really excited to be pregnant. I was just like, we were so ready, weren't we, to be pregnant?
Well, we had an interesting convo at the end of a previous video where I was like, I don't know if I would be ready.
Yes.
I don't know as a guy, because I think guys are quite quick to be like, oh, I couldn't imagine giving birth, I wouldn't want to give birth, or I couldn't imagine doing this. When maybe it's because we know that we don't have to. Yeah, we always feel like we wouldn't be ready to. Yeah. Carys was.
So James said he wasn't sure if it was his sort of job to birth the baby, whether he would be ready, because I think when I think about it, I'm just like, I'm not really worried about the birth, but I think the birth is a big thing for you, and it feels like quite a scary thing
for a lot of guys, and for girls as well. A lot of girls are kind of nervous.
I mean, I am nervous about it.
I think as guys, we're just like, no, I don't want to birth. Apple out of my willy, no. That's what they compare it to, isn't it? It's like birthing an apple.
Oh my god, stop it! I feel like James maybe feels like he wouldn't be ready, but I, on the other hand, feel really excited.
Ready.
Yeah, maybe it's one of those.
Yeah, and maybe like, but then, like you said, 3 or 4 years ago, you would have felt like you were like, no.
Yeah, but not really because of the birth. But then maybe I'm being naive. Maybe I haven't really.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Carys is quite a kind of a strong-minded person, and she can deal with pain like extremely well. Just kind of getting your finger sewn up with no kind of injections.
It's all good. I much prefer stuff like that to like nausea. Just like general pregnancy nausea. I'm like, I just want to give birth like 10 times rather than nausea. I'll probably regret saying that after the birth.
Said the same.
Yeah, lots of people have said the same.
She said the worst thing for the first 12 weeks.
Because it's like prolonged for so long, whereas once you're into the birth, you're like, this is going to happen, we're going to be good, we're going to stay positive, it's going to be over, and I'm going to have a beautiful baby.
You hope. Like, people say that the second you have the babies in your arms, not all the time, not all births are different, but like quite a few people say like when you have the baby in your arms, you then kind of forget about the birthing process,
absolutely.
And it kind of then just all goes into a blur.
It's funny how quickly we forget things as humans.
So you're not nervous?
No, I'm not nervous.
You weren't nervous about being pregnant? That was the question.
I wasn't scared about being pregnant at all, no. I probably would have been more scared if I'd have known that I was going to throw up, because my biggest fear is throwing up and just feeling sick.
It's a phobia, isn't it?
Yeah, I've had So had I known, I was always like, I'm not going to be sick in pregnancy. Had I known I was actually going to throw up quite a lot, I would have been a lot more scared.
Yeah,
but
because you only threw up literally once in Carys' entire life before pregnancy. She had appendicitis, in which you're meant to be sick. during, and she didn't
came out the other
well,
end.
So
my body just does anything not to be sick.
yeah, a few
doesn't it?
times during pregnancy. Still probably not much compared to most people.
Yeah.
But it's such a trauma for you.
I hate it so much.
Guys,
so yeah, I would have been.
So it's not funny. I seem really deluded, but for someone who's no, only because like obviously I'm someone who's absolutely fine being sick.
I know.
And I'm just watching you, and I'm like,
why are you so scared? And I'm like, oh my god. Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. That was horrible.
No, it's okay, boo. I know how James is the best. Like. He seems like he's being unsympathetic, but he literally like rubs my back, holds my hand, gets me a drink. He's literally like the most caring. Okay, will you announce the name before or after the baby is born?
So we have a good idea for names. I love how you're letting me take this one because you did the.
I am.
That's very sweet. We do have a good idea of names. I think for each sex we have like 3 names in our head for what we want to call the baby.
Yeah.
And then I think we're just gonna kind of keep those names in our head and do the whole thing like when the baby's born.
Yeah.
Like we can't lie, we have a favourite.
Yeah, we do.
And I think it's natural to have a favourite. And I will be surprised if we don't call the baby
the favourite
name.
Yeah.
But we aren't going to fix on it until after the birth. And we're definitely not going to announce it until after the birth.
Definitely not going to announce it.
Even to our friends and family, I think we're going to keep it a secret because it's a weird one, names, because everyone's allowed to have an opinion on what name, not allowed to, but you hope they don't voice it, but you're kind of allowed to have an opinion on what names, but you don't want to be deterred, so we don't want to say to our friends, we're thinking of calling it so-and-so, and they'd be like,
oh, nice. And you're like,
I know a so-and-so in school who was really naughty, and it's like, we don't want to hear that, okay? We don't want to know about it.
Or like, oh, there's a really famous person called this that we didn't know about, and we're like, no, don't tell us. And names are weird, because there's so many names out there. Everyone, clearly, from even just the fact there's so many names out there, everyone has a different opinion about what names they like. So I just think everyone has their own name, and it's great. And then once you announce it, we name this baby
that's the
this.
thing, like with friends and family, once you're like, this is so-and-so, come meet so-and-so, your granddaughter or your niece or nephew or
they're not going to say no, are they?
Then they're not going to be like, take the name.
What's your biggest worries about becoming parents? P.S. I think you'll do a great job. Oh, look, we're already parents.
Oh, you're picking up Mila and she hates being picked up. Okay. Carys isn't doing a great job because Mila's currently traumatised now sitting on her lap. She likes sitting on our lap, but it has to be on her accord. Do not pick that dog up. She's gone. She's gone. That's it.
No Labradors like being picked up because they're too heavy and they're like...
It's really awkward though.
But if they want to sit on your lap or head or neck, they will.
They will.
What's your biggest worries about becoming parents? P.S. I think you'll do a great job. Thank you.
I kind of go with the flow. I try not to overthink the worries.
Yeah.
Do I have a biggest worry? I know my worry is Carys's worries, and Carys's worry, we wouldn't have time together.
Yeah, for each other.
Which obviously is kind of what happens, not what happens, but it's easy to do once you start a family to kind of neglect your relationship. Yeah. And in some ways, your relationship does have to be neglected to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But then you still have to you know, make sure you're giving love and attention and affection to your.
So that was definitely my biggest worry
because
before.
You like attention.
I do love attention.
You do like attention, don't you? You like a bit of love.
A lot of love. That was my biggest worry before we even spoke about having kids. Was I was like, I don't want to have kids because I just don't want to lose James's love and affection. But now, obviously, we're on our way to it. Obviously, I'm not thinking about that too much, and I think I'm just more worried. Yeah, I am worried about that part of things. Of like, I just don't want. You want to like stay just as in love and just love each other as much, but your love changes and your love becomes different. And I see James with Mila, and my heart like explodes. I can't imagine seeing James with a baby and holding our baby, and my heart will just like crumble into a million pieces, and I'll just love you for different reasons.
Because it's a strange one, because obviously you can, you know, once the baby's a little older, you can, you know, have like date nights every couple of weeks and stuff like that. But it's not even kind of that specific. It's just, you know, having a cuddle on the sofa or, you know, making sure you're actually paying each other and listening to each other. That's a big one, isn't it? It's so easy to kind of just do what you think your kid wants or... It's, I think it's
There's
important.
a lot of things that I think are like scary going into becoming a parent, but it's exciting, and if it wasn't scary and new, then it wouldn't be so amazing because it wouldn't be so special. It's such a big jump, but it's because of that is just this little human that you love so much.
I'm not really, I think the main thing I'm worried about is kind of making sure we kind of keep up some sort of steady income, and I'm such a practical person, like that's kind of what I go to, and I want to make sure we're not spending too much money and that we kind of can keep kind of an income, because at the moment our kind of income is a bit like all over the place.
You're right.
So that's what
and
makes me a
my
little
biggest one
nervous.
is probably, that's a good one for you.
Thank you.
James. My one is probably, I'm worried already about like not being a good enough parent. I know mum guilt and parent guilt is just like such a huge thing, and so I'm really encouraging myself to not feel like that before the baby's even here. I really want a baby that's going to grow up with like surrounded by self-love and just like body confidence and just feel like it can be whoever it wants to be, and I'm already nervous about like answers to questions, or you know, kids ask so
like,
many,
kind
and
of
I'm like,
saying the wrong things,
Yeah.
because obviously generation on generation there's kind of different ways to
yeah,
phrase
exactly,
things,
and I don't want to phrase
yeah.
anything wrong. I just want to
Yeah.
be like the best parent I possibly can be. But yeah, I think everyone worries about stuff like that.
But it's such a good start that you are thinking about that.
Yeah.
Like if you weren't thinking about kind of how to bring your child up in a way to kind of allow he or she to flourish into whatever they want to be, then you know, it's good to think about.
What's been your favourite thing about pregnancy so far?
Are you enjoying the fact that you got an excuse not to come on dog walks in the rain?
Yeah, that's a good one. Seeing as it started raining and I'm like, oh,
Because like, you're gonna have to go on your own, James.
I don't miss that many, but it has been
doesn't miss many
raining
at
2
all.
days in a row, and I've missed 2 in a row, and I'm like, oh.
Well, today makes sense. We've got a busy day today, so I just needed to get out, and Carys takes a few hours to get ready in the morning.
My favourite thing about pregnancy is literally being pregnant. I love it. I love touching my belly. I love just being pregnant. I just feel so happy and grateful, like honestly grateful every single day that I'm pregnant.
That's kind
I
of
just
like,
feel really happy.
obviously people say that you have a pregnancy glow, not that you should get pregnant just to have a glow, but like that's kind of a general, apart from that, like the positive about being pregnant is the fact that you're pregnant. Like all the side effects, none of them are positive.
No.
Like you throw up, you feel tired, later on you get swollen ankles.
Everything, there's just so many
struggle to
symptoms.
sleep because you know you're really uncomfy in bed.
My nipples are on fire 24/7. I'm not even joking. I'm like, what's going on down there? Like, I know you're trying to make some milk or something, but seriously, it's like
you're getting ready.
they're churning away. I just don't know what's going on. So there's 1,000,001 symptoms that are just like not good. But yeah, the main one is obviously just being pregnant.
That's the only thing. It's been, and then going to the scans and seeing the baby and like just being so overwhelmed and so happy.
But there's a little human inside you
like,
growing.
Yeah, and there's like
crazy.
a new future. Oh.
Yeah, it's amazing. And also I think the other good thing is that everyone treats you like really well. So they're like, oh, don't worry, sit down, you're pregnant. Or they're like, even just you, I feel like I can get, obviously you can get away with more, but like you are knackered, you are tired, you do feel sick.
Yeah,
so it's not an excuse, but like people
we only
are...
joke when we say it's an excuse.
Yeah, people are looking out for you and they are more sort of caring.
I think until you start showing too much of a bump though, you need to wear a sign. Like obviously it's COVID, so I'm not really going anywhere, but if you were going on public transport, you know, I'm pregnant, please give up your seat for me.
Yeah, I just tell everyone, you know, I'm pregnant. Has your morning sickness helped you get rid of the fear of being sick or made it worse?
Ooh,
It
that's
is
a good question.
Really good question, and I love that you knew I had a fear of being sick. You knew me well. It definitely made it better. 100 billion%.
We will put out a trigger warning here if anyone else has a phobia of throwing up and wouldn't like Carys to doesn't want to listen to Carys talking about throwing up. Go ahead. 100%
made it better. The worst part was literally my just build up to it all. And I wish that I had been sick earlier. So I was first sick in like week 12, which was really far along, seeing as I've been feeling nauseous all the way up and like really swallowing it down and trying not to be sick. Couldn't control it, was sick. And then after that, I allowed myself to be sick. I don't know if I would have been able to do it without James, because I do have like a mini anxiety attack every time I do it. I really struggle to slow my breathing down and I get very caught up and I cry a lot and I'm very emotional when I'm doing it, because it's still... Yeah, because if you're not home, I'm very panicky about feeling nauseous and being sick. And if you are home and downstairs, I'll call to you and be like, come now, I'm going to be sick. So doing it on my own would be, you know, the next step.
You did do it once on your own.
I did, but I was very upset about it. And I called you straight after. I couldn't call you. I was like,
it was came out of nowhere, did it? So you went into this pregnancy, like you just said, thinking, I'm never sick, I'm not going to throw up, I'm not going to get morning sickness. Do you regret that? Do you think you should have, do you think anyone who's waiting to get pregnant who, you know, may not have a phobia but doesn't like throwing up, do you think they should kind of prepare themselves that there's a really good, like, not everyone gets morning sickness, but the majority of people do? It is the majority, isn't it?
I'm not sure. Most people I seem to speak to don't.
Really?
Like, well, I only know a couple of pregnant.
Okay.
I can't say
well,
that.
It's obviously, it is common.
People. It's a
good chance.
I think it is. I think like 80% get nausea, but I don't know how many actually throw up. But it's the most talked about symptom. I think it's because it's the most horrible one.
So
I would say
prepped?
I wish I just been gone for it a bit more. Yeah, I wish I'd just, the first time I was like trying to swallow it down, I wish I'd just gone to the toilet and been sick, because I would have, I do wish I'd done that. Yeah, because the nausea lasted so badly then. If I wanted to be sick but swallowed it down and just like really stopped myself, I would feel awful all night, through the night. I wouldn't be able to sleep. After being sick, I was immediately better. I literally remember one night I was sick, and then 10 minutes later I ate a curry, like a full-on curry that we got for takeaway. So yeah, I do. I wish I'd been sick earlier, and I'm not so scared at all of being sick. I am still scared, obviously, but I would say it's reduced my fear by like 50%, if not more.
I just like to say that Carys isn't so far along that she's trying to induce herself with curries.
No.
We do know that's I don't know how true it is. It's a bit of an old
spicy
lifestyle,
foods.
Probably. But spicy
not that
foods.
I'd be having spicy foods anyway.
No,
let's be real.
you'd be like, let's get a curry so I can try and. It'd be like a week overdue. Let's get a curry, and you get a korma.
Korma.
It's like
I'm trying to eat spicy foods to induce the baby. Korma, please. Will you find out the sex, or do you want a surprise? This is such a funny one that there's like almost. I wonder what the split is between people that find out and people that have a surprise.
On Instagram, because I'd be interested to know.
I would be interested to know as well. Like we were both on the very much on the same page, weren't we? Like we wanted to find out
beforehand.
We wanted definitely to find out. It's not that
we just wanted to know what tone of off-white to paint the bedroom. Because we paint everything off-white. So how do we know what tone of off-white to paint the bedroom?
Literally, we're awful. And it's not exactly. So I feel like when you think about finding out the gender, you're like, oh, it's so I can buy it pink or blue clothes and paint pink. Like no, we're not like that. We're not gonna do. We don't do stuff like that. It's nothing to do with that. It's literally just wanting that connection to the baby, feel connected to it, and it doesn't really matter what the gender is. It doesn't really matter who the baby grows up to be. It could be whoever it wants. It just at this stage when the baby is inside,
you're learning more.
You're
just learning.
You
more
just feel
about
closer to the baby.
You have growing in your stomach.
Yeah, and also I think
uterus. I don't know. We all just say stomach.
I know.
That would be awkward, wouldn't it, if the baby was growing in your stomach?
Yeah, that would be in the wrong place. The excitement on the day is already so much. You're just freaking giving birth. I just feel like I want to spread out.
Are like, oh, but don't you want the excitement on the day? It's like, no, the excitement on the day is that we get a baby.
I get to hold the baby.
There's a baby. At that point, like, probably you'll forget the gender of the sex.
What was it again?
The baby will be born and they'll be like, oh, it's a baby girl. And then half an hour later, I'll be like, is it a girl or a boy? I can't remember. It was just all so overwhelming at the time.
Yeah, maybe we're super overwhelmed people, so we just got to like pace it out and, get excited at different times.
I think maybe it's a generational thing. Like, obviously, our parents didn't get the choice early on.
No.
I think, like, my mum could find out for me, but not for my older brother.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, maybe it's like no one kind of we spoke to has found out. Like, no one we know has kind of found out the sex of the baby.
Will you vlog the birth? I really want to vlog the birth. I love vlogging, and I've always loved vlogging. When I'm sad or like struggling, I love to vlog. It's like telling, for me, I'm a very open person, and when I share something, it already makes it better. And so I love vlogging if I'm struggling, I vlog, I feel like it makes it so much better. It's like you're sharing to your friends, you're talking through how you're feeling. By already even just saying, okay, I'm struggling, even just like explaining what's going on to a camera, to you guys, it sets my mind in place. It helps me concentrate, it helps me focus. And I love that whole side of vlogging. It's probably really strange to people that haven't vlogged, and you might not think that's...
I think it's interesting though, because we've spoken to like, midwives and stuff. I can't remember who we spoke to, but we were like, do you think we can vlog it? And they were like, loads of people vlog the birth now.
Even
I don't know how to word it. Normal people, non-vlogging people,
non-vloggers,
vlog their birth and stuff. Like, it's actually quite common. Not common, but like quite a few people do it. I think this is a really good point to say. I remember seeing a comment like, I don't get what's happening. Don't you have a doctor? And so, because in the US, I think. Isn't it something like you kind of, because it's all prioritised, you have your doctor.
Really?
You have your doctor at the start of pregnancy, and that doctor stays with you throughout the whole of pregnancy.
Wow.
And you kind of like choose your doctor. I don't know, that's what it seems to be on like
That's
TV
cool.
shows and movies.
Yeah, you're right.
You choose your doctor.
It makes sense if it's prioritised.
But in the UK, we mainly use midwives, so qualified midwives who are specifically...
If you've got a low-risk pregnancy, you go through a midwife-led unit, and you just... Whoever's on
duty at
the time will help you birth the baby.
And they're all lovely and stuff. But also now with COVID, the rules are a bit different, aren't they? And we're hoping they might change come April. But at the moment, with giving birth in England and Wales hospitals, the partner is allowed into the room for active labour only. So once you're dilated a certain
Is
centimetre.
it when you're like, I think it's when you're like going into like
when the
pushing, like,
because obviously you can be in labour for a couple of days before you go into active labour. So you're allowed in after active labour, and then you're allowed in 3 hours after the baby is born, and then you have to leave the hospital. So I won't be there for the majority of the time that and it's quite sad. Like I'll only be able to be in there for 3 hours after the baby's born. And then if you have an unfortunately more bad birth, and you have to be in there for a few days afterwards because you had an emergency C-section or you had whatever. So anyway, they're the COVID rules. So we're hoping they might change, but at the moment vlogging it, so going back to the vlogging one, I might not be there for a lot of it.
So I'm not really sure how that's going to work with the whole setup and the whole thing like that. And I think that's something that me and James are really struggling with, and we're trying not to think about it too much, but also prepare ourselves, because it's not something that I want to jump into naively and be like, you'll be allowed in, and then
come April, it'll all be fine.
Obviously me and James do a lot together, and like I do rely on James for a lot of kind of, I
don't want to miss out either.
I know, of course you don't.
If you're going to be in there for 3 or 4 days after the baby's born, I'm not going to see my new baby.
You don't want to miss your baby.
Not only will I not see you, who might be struggling, but I can't see the baby.
No, I know, you're going to miss the first poo, the first sneeze, the first like whatever they do.
It's kind of like we chose to get, like we wanted to get pregnant.
We have to say
this wasn't an accidental pregnancy. We wanted to get pregnant. Like from March we were trying.
We chose this.
Earlier than that. Kind of, we naively thought come April it'd be fine. Come April.
But you know what? We spoke about this yesterday, and we said if we knew this was going to be the case when we were giving birth, would we have tried? Yeah, we would have. We just want to start a family, and we know how long it takes to try and conceive. The pregnancy's long. You can't put your life on hold for everything, because you put it on hold and something else might come into play, and they might leave it like that forever. You just don't know. So,
like, do we want the rules to change so that I can come in for the whole thing? Yes. We're not expecting kind of the whole family to be there. We literally just want
James to be there.
But then, at the same time, we kind of chose to.
Absolutely.
I feel really sorry for kind of like, really young girls who may have accidentally got pregnant and aren't allowed their mums in, or aren't allowed.
That breaks my heart.
I couldn't imagine, being, 16, 17,
No, it's not fair. It honestly winds me up. Well, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I feel like it should be a human right to have at least one person with you during your birth. Like, it's the most traumatic thing. From speaking to someone who's given birth recently and is giving birth again soon, she was saying, it's traumatic. It's the most traumatic thing you go through, and it's traumatic for both people. And you just need to be together. You need to have someone there for you, who you trust and who you love, and it makes the birth easier. And they have got statistics that are coming out. I'm not sure, I haven't actually seen them, but I've heard that there have been statistics that births are harder.
Head of midwifery units or something saying that women are struggling more now.
And it's true. It's true. You're going to struggle if you haven't got.
Well, you're going to be more anxious and more stressed out. Like, the partner's there to kind of try and calm. Anyway,
talk about it.
No, we're going to be positive, and no matter what happens, Carys is going to have a good birth. She's going to be home within 6 hours of giving birth. That's the best case scenario.
We're not going to put too much pressure on ourselves, because if it doesn't go to plan, it's okay as well.
But it is going to go to plan. We're manifesting it, so it's going to be great.
I just feel so lucky to even be having a baby. Are you still going to the gym? We're spending a long time on these questions.
I know, we've been filming for 24 minutes.
We've done like 3 questions. Let's do some quick ones. Are you still going to the gym? So yes, I really want to have an active pregnancy. You are. We've just started back, literally. We had lockdown, which knocked us off our socks. We then had the first trimester, which knocked me completely down. Like, I did not go to the gym at all. Nausea was not gonna. I'm not gonna work out when I'm nauseous. James went a couple of times without me, and out of the first trimester now, feeling so much better, so much less nauseous. Already been back to the gym, sorry.
I've got burpees.
I know. What is it?
Was it that for lunch?
I'm like, oh.
Strange.
Already been back to the gym twice in the last 2 days, and I'm loving it. I really, really, really want an active pregnancy. I want to
active life. You were going to say
active life. I do want an active life. I really want an active pregnancy. I want to push my body to a sensible limit that I'm allowed to in pregnancy. I want to stay strong. I want to build my muscles. They recommend strength training to everyone who's pregnant, just for the labour and for the afterness of being birthed.
Is it just because if you strength train, your body's used to repairing muscles?
I'm not sure.
And so when you then kind of have to, give birth, you can prepare.
Maybe. Maybe. There's definitely something about strength training, but I haven't really thought into why.
We're really good at finding out what to do, but not why to do it. We're kind of, we just sheep along, we just follow it. We're like, yeah, that sounds good.
I'll do that. Tick, tick. Not sure why though. So yeah, I really want to. I want to train maybe 3 to 4 times a week. I go on an hour dog walk a day, and I have been doing that the majority of my pregnancy. There's probably like
at least 5 times a week you do that.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say at least 5 times since I've been pregnant. I was like, don't.
No, you don't miss very much.
Yeah, at least 5 times a week.
But you may start missing more if you are struggling.
Yeah.
It's difficult to know, isn't it? Like,
You've got to listen to your body.
Big time with, the swollen ankles and
absolutely.
Yourself a bit unsteady. In that case,
I'm going to listen to
the worst thing you can do is fall, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're not going to be doing weight training if you feel like you've lost your balance.
No, I mean the whole of the first trimester I didn't go to the gym. I didn't feel guilty about it because I didn't want to work out, and so I'll just work out when I feel like I want to. And I'm excited to. That was not a quick one, and it was meant to be. Oh my goodness. Plans for the nursery! Congrats, by the way. Fab parents you will be. Oh my god, I love that. Fab parents you will be. Is that like the sentencing, like, what's his name? Yoda. Fab parents you will be.
It is a bit, isn't it?
I love that.
I like it though.
Not me, it goes.
It kind of gets the positivity at the start. Fab parents
you will be. You will be.
So nursery, we're thinking of turning the original guest room into the nursery, which is the middle front room. So it's the one that's kind of a little bit weird shaped that I currently have my wardrobes in, and it kind of just about fits a double bed with. It's probably the smallest, I don't know if it's the smallest room, but it's a bit weirdly shaped.
Yeah.
Anyway, and it's the closest room to our bedroom, which is why we've chose it. And yeah, nothing really major at the moment. We want the basics in there, the cot, the changing table, a little bit of wardrobe space, and neutral colours.
Yeah, we're thinking neutral.
We're thinking neutrals.
I'm thinking calm. I'm thinking happy mum, happy baby. That's my motto for the whole of my pregnancy. Yeah, rocking chair, like colours that make me feel good. So when I'm up like every single hour of the night, I'm just like calm in my calm nursery. We're not going to go for like a bright neon yellow or anything.
No, we're going to keep calm colours, and then, I don't know, to stimulate the baby, you could have other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, I don't know if just like a plain colourful wall would stimulate the baby.
I don't know.
We need to look into that. We obviously need to do much. We decided we're not going to do anything to the room until January. So we're going to 3 months. We're going to give ourselves the 3 months before the baby is due to kind of like do all the baby stuff, buy the prams, buy stuff like that.
Because that's like the last part, and like you just want to keep excited, and you just want to stay.
Well, I know that lots of people say like, oh, don't buy anything until after, in case anything horrible. But I couldn't imagine the stress of the baby coming. I was thinking, I need to buy everything.
Yeah, no, it is difficult. It's one of those. Like everyone will do it differently, and you've got to do whatever
sits right
time
with you, isn't it?
Sits right for you, exactly. But I think we decided January.
I'm just hoping we can hold on until January, because we're both just so excited to kind of.
Yeah, I know.
But I think we'll have a good Christmas, just you and I in lockdown, and then we'll start smashing it out in January.
Yeah, I'm excited. I want to look at baby clothes already now.
Every time we go into shops, we're like, baby clothes.
Are you going to have a natural birth? So I'm really excited about the birth, and I always really wanted to have a natural birth, but I'm not going to put too much pressure on it again, because if I need to have a C-section for whatever reason, I want to be really happy about it. I want to be happy to birth and have my baby in whatever way is the safest way possible for having a baby.
For you and the baby.
For me and the baby. I've listened to podcasts before where it's been really hard for people that have been really excited about birthing and really wanted to birth naturally, and then had to have an emergency C-section, and it's been really hard for them to sort of process, because you didn't view your birth going that way, and it's all really difficult. So I want to try and just keep an open mind, because I am probably the type of person that would get het up with something like that if I had come up with like an amazing. Oh my gosh, we were recording for so long it actually switched off. I've just realised the question natural birth, I'm not sure whether that means without painkillers. No, it doesn't.
I would guess that it just means, vaginal birth.
Right, okay. Yeah, so definitely yes. And in regards to painkillers, again, I just want to do whatever is safest for me and the baby. I'm very
We've been watching One Born Every Minute. And some people who are determined not to have painkillers then really struggle to push because of the pain. And then once they've had painkillers, they're then able to push, and it'd be a much safer passage for the baby and the mum.
But again, different people have different views on everything, and I think whatever way is your view is absolutely right, and that's fine.
There's absolutely nothing wrong or right.
No.
But I think Carys makes a good point. Like, if you talk yourself up that the right way and the only way is natural birth with no painkillers. You don't want to then be really disappointed if actually that's not safe at that moment in time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's good to kind of have the view that you want to have a natural birth like you do, but then if you have to have a C-section or something, then it's for the best.
Absolutely. Have you brought any baby clothes yet? No. We have been bought maybe like 2 pieces by friends. We're really trying hard not to buy any yet. We want to savour the excitement for a little bit further on.
I don't feel the drive to buy any yet. No, because I just feel like we're not in a position to buy anything.
No, I know.
In terms of like, we got 2, like I said, 2 lovely pieces of baby's clothes. But I just don't know what to do with them.
There's nowhere to put them.
We haven't got a baby wardrobe.
Yeah,
we haven't got anything, so they're just kind of sitting in my wardrobe.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
And they're lovely, and like,
so
we love
cute,
receiving them. But like, I think come, December and January, we'll have our baby's room set up, and then we can fill it with some items.
So excited. Does it feel surreal knowing there's a tiny human growing inside you? Yes, but it's also so easy to forget. So like, sometimes I just have like, I don't know, because sometimes when you feel so normal, like right now I just feel really normal, like myself. I didn't the first trimester. And you forget that there's actually like this wiggling thing inside you. And I think until you can feel it, which I'm in that period right now between, it's not quite big enough for me to start feeling movement yet. I don't forget I'm pregnant because I'm obviously obsessed with the fact I'm pregnant, but I like kind of forget what pregnancy is. And then I'm like, wait, I just like carried a little wriggling thing like around the whole day.
All we think about day to day is like having the baby at the start of April. But then you probably somehow disassociate that from there being the baby in your stomach. If that makes sense, isn't it? You're like, I can't wait to have the baby. Wait, the baby's actually growing in my stomach.
Where's the baby? Oh wait, it's here. Yeah, so it is really
we sound
weird.
So ditzy.
I know. Where's the baby? How did you get a baby? There was one asking how he felt about the birth, and obviously our main concern is the COVID situations. Yeah. Have you felt movement in your stomach yet? I haven't. I think it's going to come soon in terms of like, from a lot of people that I've spoken to, around 15, 16 weeks, or like 16 weeks, and then I think 20-ish weeks you feel your proper kicks, but before that you can start to feel like butterflies and movement of the baby. It's not quite big enough to like be kicking you and doing anything like that yet, but it starts to be big enough to create movement within your stomach, and I'm honestly waiting for that day. I'm literally like,
we seem to have a very active baby in there as well. Like every time we go for a scan, we've been to 3 because we've had a couple of private scans, and every time we go, the baby just doesn't stop moving, and everyone's like, "Wow, you have a really active baby." And yeah, like I feel like once you can't wait to start feeling it, but once you start feeling it, I feel like you're never going to stop feeling it.
Let me out.
We had a really cute one the other day. We went to a scan and we got the video of it, and maybe we'll get Beth to pop it up. But the baby was like what was it? It's like sucking his thumb, I think.
It was sucking his thumb
and his fist here and
wiping its eye. Like,
oh, it was so cute.
It's so cute. I honestly just thought, this is me being naive, that a baby just like was in your stomach like until it came out, basically.
Yeah. I thought that as well. Like, I knew it kicked later on, but I thought that was maybe like a month or less before birth. And I thought up until that point it was just like kind of floating around in the sack, like kind
not
of growing.
Really doing anything.
I couldn't believe it was moving, like sucking his thumb
and yawning, doing like actual human
stretching
things.
His arms and like kicking. I couldn't believe it.
You said his. We don't know. We're just saying his or hers.
Yeah, I tried to say it, but that just sounds weird.
I know. So you naturally go towards one.
Yeah.
Will your sister and husband be living with you when the baby arrives? So I'm not sure if we have actually said this in enough vlogs for people to know yet.
We say used to, didn't we?
Yes.
Like, used to live with us. So.
They lived with us from March for the whole of lockdown for 7 months, and they've moved out a couple of weeks ago.
When they were allowed to, before we then went into a further lockdown.
Oh my gosh, I know.
I know. They moved out when we were like bubbling with 4 households.
Yeah, so they're out now.
Parents, yeah.
But it was really, really lovely to have them. It honestly
we need to turn their old room into the
nursery.
It's, like in some, like it is sad to see them go, but then, you know, if we locked down now until after Christmas, like they would have been here when we were trying to turn the room into the nursery.
Yeah, it would have been a nightmare, wouldn't it? Is there part of you that is scared of the responsibility despite wanting a baby? So like the responsibility of turning into parents, proper parents. And like, I guess it's that scariness of like, this is forever now. Like that you can't just like run away to Paris and be like, hee, like we've got an actual responsibility.
I didn't view it like that. But so that is probably what they meant. I was thinking it more like, you know, the kid like is now like the kid's going to rely on us, and we need to be good parents, otherwise this child might not have a good life. So I was thinking more, and my kind of response to that is like, I feel so lucky that we have such amazing families on both sides and such amazing friends that if we are kind of anxious about things or whatever, like we will be able to fall on our parents who we kind of respect so much, because we're amazing. obviously. So like we respect our parents and their parenting. So it's like, yeah, like I think we've got a lot of people to fall back on if we do kind of start getting anxious about, you know, how to bring up a child.
Yeah.
But like, so in terms of that side of responsibility, but in terms of running off to Paris, we always said that we have a dog already that we feel horrendously guilty leaving at home. And with a baby, at least you can actually take them on planes.
Yeah, exactly.
And take them into,
We even feel guilty just going to the shops.
I know.
If we leave, like if we go
just
to
don't like
town
leaving her.
for like a couple of hours, we're like, oh, but Mila,
Yeah.
should we eat a meal out? Oh, we should probably get home to Mila.
Yeah, like when we were doing the road trips to the US last year for 2 weeks, so we went on a road trip and like we just felt so guilty leaving her. We thought, yes, a baby is like so much work and a lot of responsibility, but at least we can take the baby.
We can take the baby with us.
And even though like it's going to completely change the dynamic of the road trip,
we're okay with
you'll be,
that.
You know, changing nappies all the time and feeding and everything and napping and stuff. You napping.
So,
you know, at least you can take the baby and you're not feeling guilty leaving it.
Absolutely. So we're excited for that.
I'm excited to have our family.
Yeah, and I think we've been really lucky with our job and our jobs allowed us to have as a lifestyle. We've done so much together, and I think that was some people's concerns when we were wanting to have children young was that, oh, you haven't done enough together, or like you haven't experienced life together yet. But we were together for 6 years. We've been together for 6 years, and luckily our job and our lifestyle and everything has allowed us to spend every single day of that 6 years together. 24 hours of every single day.
We have had a weekend apart here or there.
Very rarely, but it does happen. Our wedding night we spent apart the night before. Not the wedding night. So yeah, we've done so much together, and we're so grateful for that, because I feel like even that just puts us in a position where we're just ready to share this whole new life with the new human, and we can't freaking wait.
Yeah, we've done us. Us is done. Now it's on to Whittaker family now.
Finito! Oh my gosh, I can't wait. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all your questions and just all your love and just excitedness for our journey. And I know that I feel like we're sharing a lot more than most people. I feel like I follow quite a lot of pregnant people, and I feel like I'm sharing too much. But I hope
if you guys are interested, then we're kind of happy to answer the questions. Like we're kind of quite open books within reason, so you know, like ask away. And if we don't want to answer the question, then we won't.
No, but not even that. But like I feel like I'm literally I just talk about, and even on Instagram or everything, like every week I'm like updating people on my pregnancy, and people feel like I'm talking about it too much. I know, I feel like I'm just talking about it too much. But let us know however you feel, because we just love creating content that you guys enjoy. Thank you so much.
And we are obviously trying to create content that has nothing to do with pregnancy.
Not doing very well.
We're not doing very well. Because we just kind of like create content around our lives, and this is obviously kind of our life now.
Yeah, we're really not doing well.
Thinking about pregnancy and babies.
Yes.
So anyway, we are trying to think of some other non-specific pregnancy content. Our baby over there is now getting down because you can hear us finishing the vlog. Hello.
Love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Please give the video a like if you did enjoy. Leave us a comment below. Subscribe if you're new and turn your notices on. See you soon, guys.
Love you so much. Bye.
Subscribe if you're new and turn your notices on. Subscribe if you're new and turn your notifications on.
Bye, guys.
Bye.